harassment of employees. Dave?
Mr. Argo, Chairman of the Hooksett School Board, during the 7/11/12 Hooksett School Board meeting, you accused me of sending emails that you considered harassment. I ask you now to produce the emails or any other material that you consider harassing.
Well, to begin, I believe the emails are part of the right to know, but the word, I know it's the word that's bothering me, and I want to read. Just did a little online dictionary. I used my device, and I went online and got what harass is. To irritate or torment persistently. This is a dictionary now. This is not Dana Argo. To wear out, exhaust. To impede, exhaust, in quotes, an enemy by repeated attacks or raids. Okay, synonyms. Harass, harry, hound, badger, pester, plague. Now, I've got information, which by the way is part of the right to know request, that I stated since Dave has been on the board, Director of Technology has received 36 direct emails, which is a violation of board policy. From 9/11, from September of 11, which is before you were on the board, to June of this year, June of 2012, there were 173 emails from Dave Pearl to the Director of Technology.
Where'd you get that information?
I got that from the SAU office. The same emails that were part of the right to know request.
How many of those were
Excuse
duplicated?
me, I'm still making my statement here. In addition, since Dave has been on the board, the superintendent has received 151 emails from him. So, the word that I used, the word that I'll say is in question, it's been thrown around a lot, to hound, badger, pester, plague. That's the point I was making. And I guess it's subjective if anyone thinks that number of emails to an administrator from a board member is pestering, badgering. I look at it as, you know, the board, the residents of Hooksett, and the other two towns that make up SAU 15, we hire the superintendent and the SAU administration to do a job for us, and that job is to run the school districts, the 3 school districts which they represent, and to take the time and energy away from what they're supposed to be doing on a regular basis, and I say supposed to be doing, which is educating the students of SAU 15, to that degree, I believe, is hounding, and badgering, and pestering of the administration. So, am I providing the emails? They've already been provided, and
Mr. Argo, I'm asking you to provide the emails. Through the Right to Know Act, there were nearly 400 emails produced by the school. To my count, that's the total board. There were about 120 actual emails out of that. They were duplicated sometimes as many as 4 times over. So I've asked you to go through those emails and produce what you have accused me of is harassment. Because to simply pull up a number that is not even accurate, and furthermore, to bring in my communication prior to me being on this board is totally unacceptable. My actions as a parent before I came on this board are none of your affair in this matter. Further, Mr. Argo, on 7/26 in the Hooksett Banner, you accused me of bullying. I ask you now to produce email or other materials to support this accusation. You have nothing?
I'm not responding to an article that I did not write, and the discussion did not occur during public.
Were you misquoted?
I answered that question.
Do you realize that the school board policy...
If you want to discuss what's been done during public, I'll discuss it, but...
You're making public statements about another school board member and making accusations of bullying in a public paper. And you don't think that that is germane to what's going on here on the board. You were contacted as chairman of the school.
I'll stand behind my comments that were made in the public session.
Okay. Do you realize that as part of this...
I've had my hand up for a while.
I'm not, thank you. Do you realize that as part of the school board policy that false accusation of bullying is in fact an act of bullying? And you have provided no substantiation to your accusation that I have bullied. You have hampered my reputation. Since moving here in the year 2000, I have been involved with this school district constantly. I have volunteered hours after hours. And for you to state in the paper publicly that I am a bully affects my reputation. And I would like you to retract that statement, and I would like you to retract your accusation of harassment so that we can move on.
I'll tell you that I will not say that whether I said it or not, I do not remember any questions posed to me about that. I don't remember making that statement for the paper. And again, the fact that somebody is taking a discussion I had and interpreting it, writing it down in a certain way, I'm not saying I said it, I'm not saying I didn't say it, because quite honestly, I don't remember that. I will stand behind, and again, I base it on the definitions that I've given. I will stand behind what I said in public.
So, Mr. Argo, if you're not sure that you said that I'm bullying adults, you should have no problem retracting that statement. Because the paper quotes you as saying, you know it when you see it, and this is adult bullying. Do you read the Hooksett Banner?
Again, I've made my comments on the paper.
Well, Mr. Argo, if we are going to be a board that is going to have accusations made with no substantiation, I don't see how you can continue in a leadership role. What is to prevent me from making an accusation about any person on this board without any backup, without any material, and hurting their reputation without providing any information for discussion? What's to prevent that?
Tricia, I'll make one final, and then I'll let you jump in. But the basis of what I said was not on the content of the emails, it was on the quantity of the emails and the repetitiveness of them, which you stated earlier. They were repetitive. They absolutely were repetitive.
They were duplicates, Mr. Argo.
Well, you can call them what you want. You
No.
continue to send them.
I didn't continue to send them, Mr. Argo. When the school department presented the right to know, they duplicated emails multiple times over. If you read them, you would find out that they have the exact same send date, same send time, and everything. I'm not blaming them. I don't think they did it intentionally, but 400, they're not 400 individual emails, and your numbers are not correct. I did not email the tech director that many times. And if I did, I wish you would provide them. Because just simply looking up an address and it's saying that it's to him from me, I'm telling you that there's duplicates.
I don't know where you got the 400. I said there were 173 from 9/11, and I was very specific that was before you were on. But when you were on the board, 36 to the tech director, which is in violation of the Hooksett school board policy, and during that same time frame, 151 to the superintendent. The
That's
superintendent.
not correct.
The superintendent of SAU 15, who's responsible for educating 3 towns.
It's not correct, Mr. Argo. I wish you would produce these because
You've
you
got
have
them.
publicly,
Got them.
you have publicly insulted my reputation in dealing with the school. You know, there's few things that bother me more that would be said about me in public than unsubstantiated allegations of my actions on the school board and dealing with the school. And I wish that you would retract these so that we can move on. Because otherwise, we can throw slanderous remarks around here all day long.
I saw the emails.
Then where are they?
You've got them.
Why don't you produce the ones that you think are harassing?
Again, it's the quantity, not the content.
You said that I asked questions repeatedly. That's not true.
Okay.
You said that I harassed people. That's not true.
Tricia, please.
In your interpretation, it's not harassment. But to hound, pester, and harass somebody is up to the interpretation of the person or the people who are witnessing the harassment. And you do ask the questions repeatedly. If you change something, you say, did you mean this? That's what you do.
Make your
And
choice,
for you-
Mrs. Corcus, because if I ask it repeatedly, then I don't change it.
Well, you do both, David.
Based on an answer, of course you're going to ask a question differently.
And
What are we
for
trying
you
to hide here, Mrs. Corcus?
We're not trying to hide anything.
Fine. Mrs. Corcus, I would like you to please provide some information to substantiate your accusation that I have harassed a school employee for months. This is a statement that was made here in this meeting. This is an allegation of harassment.
You have.
I
You
wa-
sent 36 emails to him
I would
since the
like you-
election and 173
I would-
since the 9/11. And I would say I'm not going to make a right-to-know request with the amount of days we have left of school to start and the number of things this administration needs to have up and running when our children start school.
May I call you a liar, Mrs. Corcus? Without providing you any
No, you may
information?
not call me a liar.
Then you may
Please.
not call me a bullier or a harasser
I did not call you a
Without
bully. I
providing-
said that you harassed.
All right.
without providing some
Please.
information.
All right, at this point.
Could I make another point, please? Mr. Pearl, you...
Let's keep it civil.
Absolutely. You accuse Chairman Argo of making false accusations about you, and I would like to say that on Hooks at Issues, you make false accusations of a number of board members.
As Mr. Argo pointed out, we're discussing what happened here in the board, and I don't agree that I've made false accusations about anyone. Anyone that wants me to provide any information, I will do that. Mrs. Corcus, I would like you to pursue your allegation of harassment against a school employee. I'd like you to provide to the board your evidence to back up your claim, or I would like you to retract it. Because if we throw around
I
false,
stand by what I said.
then please produce the material. Because otherwise, we can start calling people anything we want on this board. Is that how we're going to run a board? Mr. Argo, I ask that we have new leadership. I think it's time that you step down as chair. The comments that you have made regarding my reputation in this town has affected me personally. And it's uncalled for, and you have refused to retract it. I think it's irresponsible for you as a chairman of the school board to lead the board and to now endorse this kind of action. I ask you to step down.
Anything else under item D?